good jig. So we'll move on. We'll go on to the next tackle thing. This is my crankbaits. Like I was telling you, it's got some frogs in here too. I got different kind of crankbaits. You know, all of them work pretty decent. Some of them suck, but you know, this frog right here, shit. I'm about to knock everything down and shit, but this frog sucks. Don't waste your money on it. It's too hard. It don't give no action. The fish don't pay no damn attention to it. You got these frogs here with the little tails on them. They ain't worth the shit. I haven't even had a damn fish follow them. They go. The only good thing about them, they go over brush. They go over lily pads and you know different stuff like that very well. Just haven't caught any fish with it. You know, I've got some smaller ones, some darker ones. Just you know different kind of stuff. They're not really all that great. I found this when I was fishing one day. I think personally it's a little big, and I may give it a shot. I may not. Who knows? But it's got some good little action on it. You know, wish some of the smaller ones had it. So that's the crankbaits. It's got some poppers in it. Like I said, I don't really care for the poppers and everything. And I got different sizes, different colors. You know, pretty much everything, you know, is good. And I've learned, you know, just from over the past year, what colors work well and what colors don't. It's just something you gotta learn for yourself, and you gotta learn the different temperatures, the color of the sky, you know, the colors of the water. The water and the sky is like the biggest thing to pick your colors of fishing. You know, a lot of people, because like I know I'm guilty just as much as anybody else. First time I went out, I was like, oh, that's a good looking lure. I like that color. Don't work that way. Don't pick your lures by just your favorite colors and shit. Alright, these are a lot of things here. This one here, it's the Bendable Minnow by Flea Fly. This is probably the only product by Flea Fly that I don't like. It sucks. It's too fucking heavy. At least here in Texas, the damn water's too shallow. Let's see, this one here, my daughter had it, and she said, Daddy, I can't catch nothing, blah, blah, blah. And I was like, well, fuck, give it here and I'll give it a shot. It's this little minnow looking thing. You know, and I was over at the river trying to give it a shot, and she's over here looking at me like I'm crazy. It's got a little spinner on it, you know, and I was catching some fish with it and shit, and I put it back on hers and tried to get her, and I think she caught one or two with it, I don't remember. But I figured it worked so well, I'll go out and get a bigger one. I haven't tried it yet, but I'm going to try here eventually. It's just right now the water hadn't been the right color for it. So, this is the first one. I used it so much the damn minnow come off of it, so I put a little swim bait on it. Well, you know what? For shits and giggles, it worked pretty damn well. I've got different things. These are some trout spinners. And I haven't really caught anything other than crappie with them. But, you know, whatever. They're alright. They got good colors and blah, blah, blah. These here are some minnow spins. It's got the gold spinner. It's got a little minnow looking on it. It's got a small hook. Works great for crappie. Works great for trout. These here, I've tried them a few times. Hadn't really had anything with them, but I'm still trying to work with them. This right here, the little slab looking thing, is a waste of time. I watch people trying to catch trout with them and shit and some bass, but I just haven't had any luck with them. These here, they suck. They're too heavy. They get caught too easy. I think if they were a little bit lighter, you know, with a little bit of oomph to get out there, but just a little bit lighter, you know, I think they'd work pretty well. This one here, I've only used a couple of times. Hadn't really had much luck with it yet, but I'm still working with that one too. And one of the things that I've started using, because my dad told me to use it, and I'll show you the one that I use the most, and I've caught, you know, the best ones with. My dad told me about them. They're called rooster tails. This one's my favorite. It's chrome. It's got the chrome spinner, small hook. I've caught some major striper with this. I've caught a lot of crappie with it. I've caught a few bass. You know, some of these trout lures, I hadn't really caught anything with them except for a couple of trout, or a couple of crappie, but they're supposed to be for trout. Trout don't give a shit for them. And that's pretty much that. I've got some little slabs, spoons, whatever they are, they work pretty well too. I've got some gold and that and whatnot. And that's pretty much that. So we'll move on to the next one because I've got about 5,000 of these sons of bitches. Well, here's the pink dildo Oompa Loompa calls. It's got a nice little octopus hook on it. I like it. It catches catfish real well, so I'm going to try to use it for fucking bass. But he thinks it looks like a pink dildo. Well, it's supposed to be a Senko. If he wants to use it as one of those, have right on the head. I've got different kinds of worms. This worm right here, it's a little curl tail. It's made by Lucky Strike. It's got one of those hooks on it I was telling you about. It works real well. I've got some shorter ones. Probably the one I've had the best luck with as far as the small tails. And this is that Wacky Action. And it works real well. And here's that other hook I was telling you about with it on there. And it works this. This is a great color. This is made by Zoom if y'all want to give it a shot. This one here, this is my hands down favorite worm. It's made by Power Bait. It's got a nice, great curl. It's got great colors. You know, and I've got, I don't know how many colors of this one. And then this one's by Lucky Strike, or Mr. Crappie, same damn difference. And it works real well. I've had some bites, but I haven't caught anything. But it gives some good, it gives some interest. I'll just put it to you that way. Now I've got different kind of Senkos. I got some worms, and I've got the lizards. I don't really care for the lizards. I got a couple of crawls. This is one of the crawls I haven't tried yet, but I'm not real sure about it. Nobody really has said anything about the crawls, so I guess I'll give it a shot one day. These here, they're fairly new to me. I haven't tried them. I got this one for Hanukkah right here. It's got nice action on it. Hopefully maybe I can catch some bass with it. You know, and I got another swim bait. It's a little fishy. It's the biggest one they make. I think it's a little big for my preference, but, you know, it's got some good action. Maybe one of these days I might catch one. So that's pretty much that. So we'll move on, try to get this done and over with, because I'm sure y'all are sick of listening to me. Here's some more of my jigs. We got some great little stuff here. This one here is by Mr. Crappie. Right there, it gets the crappie's attention, and it works really well. I caught a couple of crappie with it the other day. This here is a crappie magnet. It's got a great little action. This one is a color that my daughter got, and she gave me this one to give it a shot. And I hadn't caught anything with them yet, but I'm still working on it. This one here is made by Mr. Crappie. I love that little action. It drives them crappie crazy. There again, just like the straight tail, it's got that little ball on there, and it just drives them freaking nuts. These here, I've never been able to catch anything on, but I am going to give it a shot. It's kind of ugly, but maybe it'll attract them. And here's them little squid things again. It's got some kind of little jig head that's on the inside of it. Here's a jig head that I got that had it on sale at Academy. They had it for 98 cents for 5. They're supposed to give a different kind of action. Don't buy it. It's a waste of your money. It sucks my ass. And here's them ones I was showing you. It's got the great colors. It's got great action. They work real well. This one is made by Bone Daddy. It's got a little penis in between it. It's got some legs that'll crawl and walk around out there in the water. And I guess the little penis is what attracts the fish. I've caught a few fish on them pretty well. This one, I got it because it's got great action. I'm just not real big on the color. Haven't really caught anything on it yet, but I am damn determined. Like one of the things that I do is I like to carry extra of everything. Because I don't like to carry all my little pouches because I've got a whole damn bag full of damn lures. So I just take all the extras that I might need that day. And I just throw it on a backpack, throw it on my back, and I just go on out like some kind of camper or military man, whatever you want to call it. We're narrowing it down here. These are my curl tail jigs. And I was talking to you about flea fly. Here's one that's like flea fly, but it's made by Arky. Arky and flea fly, they have the exact same mold. They work just as well. They use the same kind of plastics. The only difference is Arky's cheaper and they got different colors. They got some of the same colors, but one's got more colors than the other. This here is Bobby Garland. It's got a great little action. It's got a little swim bait on the end of that tail. Drives a fish crazy. I've caught bass, I've caught crappie, I've caught perch. They're good. I really like them. I got some swim baits in here. You know, I use a lot of swim baits. Not real fond of them, but they work real well if I need it that day. This is probably one of my favorite curl tails. It's got that triple tail. There's something about it just drives them fish crazy. The crappie love it. Here's another Mr. Crappie. It's got the curl tail on it. They're good. They attract the fish, but the only thing is I personally think that the tail's too big. They just won't they're not very aggressive with it. And the whole point of going out there is getting them aggressive to where they'll just jump on it, some bitch. This here is Yum. Yum's a great product. They put some kind of scent on it that attracts them. They got great colors. It's a good jig. And here's the Roadrunners. It's an expensive jig head, and it's got the spinner. Well, the spinner's great. It attracts it. But you know what? Like I said, the cheaper the better. I can catch just as many fish with a cheap jig, a cheap lure, than anything else. And here's the little fishies, the smaller one. This is the one I use predominantly the most. This is one of the colors I use the most because it represents like a shad. And that's the thing, is you want to kind of fish with stuff that, you know, represents what's in the water that they're already going after. You throw something out there that's foreign to them, they may go after it and they may not. You know, and the rest of that's just pretty much everything that I have. I have some of these, don't really care for them, haven't really caught anything with them. A really good color from Bobby Garland is that one there. This one here is from Flea Fly. Those are both some really good colors. They're good in dark water, they're good in clear water. And that's pretty much with that. You know, here's one from Panfish Assassin. Panfish Assassin is a good product. And this one here, it's actually been hit so many times I've turned it upside down and they still hit it. It's just got a nice little small tail. It's got a nice body. It looks like a fish. And it's got great colors on them. So we'll move right along. I got a couple of small ones, and these are the last two, and then we'll get to the poles and we'll wrap this up and y'all can go and do what y'all want to do. This is just my little doodad stuff. My Oompa Loompa buddy, he brought this over. He goes, you gotta give this chatterbait a try. Sucks ass, sucks my balls, it's worthless. The fish just go right on by it like it wasn't even in the water. Some people may have luck with them. I think they suck. This, it's a cheap little jig or a swim bait, whatever you want to call it. It's got a nice little curl. It's got nice colors. I've had some bites on it, but I personally think it's just a little too big. This one here, I've had a lot of bites. Don't really know why they don't get aggressive over it, but it looked kind of natural, so that's why I tried to get it. But I'm not real impressed with it. This right here, I found it. It sucks. There's not really much to say about it. This one's great. It gets a lot of attention. It's got great color. It's got a great little action. It's got a bend in the tail to give it more extra action with the swim. Only problem is it's just too damn big. You know, you got your little frogs. You got different styles of the frogs, and these frogs work real well. You know, I was watching some of the fishing shows on YouTube, and they were saying you can do them just like you do the worms. Works real well if you want something light to go closer to the top of the water like springtime. I've got different colors and blah, blah, blah. This is one from Cabela's. It's called the Firetail. It's great. It tracks them, but the only problem is it's just too damn big. It's got great colors. You know, Cabela's has some good products if you can find some that are small enough to fish to get after them. Last but not least, this is my last one. I got some of these jigs right here. I haven't really caught shit on them. I've tried different times and just, I don't know, maybe it's just the technique that I can't get. This is a good color. It's a soft bait like I like. I've had some bites, just never really caught anything. I've got some different colors of it, blah, blah, blah. And oh boy, I saw at the lake, he gave me that and said, I've been catching all these bass, blah, blah, blah. He was bragging about how much he was catching, but he was only just a 19-year-old kid. But it is what it is. If I could tell him that, you know, it sucks, I would. Probably my favorite frog is probably this one here. It's made by Zoom. It's a really good product. It's nice and soft. It's got really good action. You can pop it. You can swim it. You can, you know, do different kind of things. And one of the things that I can stress to you to try is everybody wants to get in there and they just want to give that shit all kind of hell. Slow it down. The slower the better. The fish like it slow because they can catch up to it. If you try to go too fast, they're not going to run after it. Not that they got legs and they're going to run after it. So now we'll move on. I have different poles that I like to use. I have my catfish poles and I try to keep quite a few of them to get them out there. And I, you know, most of the time my friends are watching.